What is going on, my friends? I hope you are doing well today. The team at TRE wants to say thank you so much for all the support. Thank you for joining today. This is the Real Estate Podcast, and we want you guys to do us a solid. If you don't mind, can you help us get the message out? We believe that real estate can be for anybody, and we believe there's opportunities for people to grow with us. So if you can, please share, subscribe, like, comment. Thank you for being here on our journey, and we are going to continue to add as much value as we possibly can and try to shake up the industry. Let's dive in. It's hard to be a long-term player like that, but they stick to their values.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that with real estate.
Right.
Like, it's really hard. We were aggressive and active, and we definitely bought some deals that we shouldn't have in the last 2-3 years. But we were on the side. We didn't want to just sit on the sidelines while everyone was doing deals. But if we kind of stuck to our guns and were super patient, like Berkshire style, then you just slowly go up and you don't have these big swings.
All right, welcome to the Real Estate Podcast.
Welcome to the Matt and Alex experience.
So,
Going to Corpus tomorrow.
I thought you were going today.
Actually, I'm going today, yeah. My mom's going to come with me, and we're going to take the boys.
Yep.
I'm trying to get Colt to come, too.
Nice.
She says, no way. I'm like, all right, we'll see.
Why not?
Sam won't let him, maybe.
Gotcha.
Who knows? But I'm meeting with Dila. Dila's an agent at TRE at 9:15, and she's a hustler, man. I like Dila a lot, and I'm going to try and show her how to find some of these opportunities. I've been making all these offers, and like that one I showed you last night on Blue Quail, you go find these opportunities, and you go find a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
$13,000 commission by putting yourself out there and making those offers. Listed at $495 on the MLS. It was at $550 when I was originally making offers, and they responded and they said they'll take $400 yesterday. So I go on Facebook and I'm saying, hey, I got opportunities. Who wants to buy? You get a client just like that.
Easy.
So obviously you got to close the deal and everything, but Esson, he wants to build a portfolio like his dad has, and I think he's got access to capital, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure with the long-term approach, that property's, $450, $500 in a year or two. That's pretty good money.
Yeah.
So I'm solely focused on drumming up opportunities. I just met a multifamily builder connection from Alan Chesker, and this guy, he's the one who sent us that list of all those multifamily deals.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's going to send me that once a month. And it's the dead deals that this group from Oregon passes on.
To him or to?
Yeah. I mean, he does all their construction work.
Gotcha.
And he asked them for a favor. So it's funny that they consider them dead deals because,
Right.
I mean, who's to say when the timeline is?
Yeah, or what makes it dead?
Yeah, so we got a list of multifamily deals that we're trying to present. We won the Grant Cardone TV show, and I'm probably going to call Ryan, in a week or so. But I just wanted to get that. We sent him an email of a bunch of deals. And like you noticed, I just want to show him what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to take time. And then hopefully we can have something like locked up or tied up and then call him would be the goal.
Right.
And I met a guy with Tessa yesterday. 900 units.
Up
all like
north?
Houses and duplexes in Temple.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all go out to the property?
No, we met in Georgetown. But my goal with Cardone is to, ideally we would have him come to town and set up like 5 or 10 meetings with local players, good ones, and get to know them and have real deals. Like this guy's got 900, and he would sell them. One of the properties is 70 duplexes. He wants $25 million.
Yeah, we talked to him last week. It's okay.
Yeah, And just never know. I mean, I was looking, the multifamily space is interesting.
This guy, though, he does want to build more. So
Yeah.
I think the big opportunity there is to go find him some land.
Yeah. For sure.
The duplexes are like $400 each.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're just in it, baby. Adapting, being entrepreneurs, finding opportunities, trying to raise capital for the fund, trying to find more creative opportunities for grants. And I love seeing the entrepreneurs building. Like, I love what Shiho's doing and creating a little branch. And just, it's cool. I posted, give the entrepreneurs some space and step back and watch them thrive. And that's the reality is you get the right people, they go figure things out.
Right.
And I love when Shiho comes and talks to, like, my class, or we talked to Champion School yesterday, and it's pretty cool to watch her just get up there and talk.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's my quick update.
What's new? I mean, what are you thinking? People aren't buying right now. People are scared to get in the market.
Mm-hmm.
Retail buyers and sellers think the market's gonna crash.
Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. That's fascinating to study. I sent you that video with Kevin O'Leary talking about FTX. I think you'll enjoy it.
Yeah,
I just wanted to understand the story because it's one of the biggest financial crashes ever,
right?
Like, in history. To understand, like, what happened, and I was just fascinated by Kevin O'Leary and how he said he marks to market all his securities and everything he owns every 12 hours. Like, how we have to send our lenders our spreadsheets and financial, like, he does that every 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll be like, Bitcoin's up, so we need to reallocate because I only want to have 5% in crypto. So I got to reallocate, like, by the hour.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fascinating to learn that, how he operates like that. And for me personally, it's been fascinating. As you know, like, my cannabis stock has just been down forever. And it was like, now it's like on the way up maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And everything else is like now coming down. Like, I was like early on going down with things, right? Like, I went down 80-90%.
Mm-hmm.
Now everything else is down 80-90%. And one of these guys posted, is it down, or are you looking at it? Level?
Even.
That's good. I know, like, cannabis isn't gonna have like a game changer effect on the economy, but someone posted like 10 years ago, and they said cannabis is gonna become legal and a big part of the economy at the beginning of the next crash. And if you think about it, people are losing jobs. Economy's tough, but cannabis is still selling, right? Like, people still buying it, just like alcohol.
He said cannabis is gonna what?
It's gonna start coming up. Like, it's not, like I said, it's not gonna have this like huge unreal effect, but this is the time when you need to create jobs,
Mm-hmm.
right, and revenue for the states. So what a good time to legalize it.
Yeah,
I mean, literally like thousands of jobs, like thousands per state,
right,
are there that you could start employing some of these people that are getting laid off, and you get revenue for the states to help the economy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of fascinating.
Yeah. What with the recent midterm election, do you think that's gonna help out cannabis at all?
Yeah, the hope, and you never know, but they call it the lame duck session right now. Have you heard of that? Because you kind of already know who's coming in next, but the people that are there now are going to ride out their terms.
They're the lame ducks.
Lame duck session. And so they try to like pass some things through because they might not have the chance when things change.
Mm-hmm.
And so the big one, it's all over Twitter. Like, there's action going in.
Safe banking?
Yeah, it's called Hope Plus Safe. It's you get the Democratic needs and the Republican needs, and they're putting it together.
Which are what?
Well, the Democrat side is big on taking care of people that were affected by the war on drugs. So, like, it was primarily people of color.
In prison?
Yeah, in prison or in prison,
records.
Mainly criminal record. And so if they legalize it, they want to have more of an advantage to people of color in some sense.
In what way?
Giving them licenses and stuff like that. Like, you have to be maybe
for the business opportunity.
Yeah, maybe you have to have been affected by it or been in jail or
It's a weird
makes
stipulation to put on it.
it makes sense though. Like in some ways, you've been in jail and then these rich business guys come in and then they're making millions while you were in jail.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Like I like the idea, and they can partner. So you could partner with the big money and be that license holder.
It's just an odd stipulation to put on it, I think.
Yeah.
Like that you have to be required to have.
I mean, it's just like it's not like set in stone, but that's the idea behind it is they just want to help those people that have been affected.
That were
by
negatively affected.
Yeah.
How do you determine, rightfully criminal record and, wrongfully criminal record? Because, like, my criminal record, rightfully earned. I wasn't necessarily. I mean, like, do I get thrown in this pool even though, or like, do other people get thrown in this pool who, were there because of their choices?
Yeah.
And they should have been arrested, like myself.
Well, I mean, if you were arrested for marijuana, right?
Sure.
Just for marijuana.
Well, but in what way? I mean, like, I was arrested for marijuana every time, along with other things.
Yeah. Well, I guess, the only way you can judge it is what's on if it only shows, marijuana.
But is it like possession under 28 grams, or is it like if you were
any of it, like,
working with the cartel and you were moving, 100 pounds? Is that thrown in there? Or?
Yeah, they don't have it detailed, to that degree, but regardless, like, hey,
do you get what I'm saying though?
Yeah, but I do. But it's like now it's fully legal. So now moving 28 grams or 28 ounces or pounds or whatever, that's acceptable. That's a good thing, right? So the fact that it was like so horrible and now it's legal and the government makes money on it, I think it should be, disregarded in that sense.
Yeah.
If you're doing,
I'm just saying, like, so, because when you get arrested, you don't necessarily just get arrested for one thing. You could have a stack of charges, right? Mm-hmm. Like, possession of controlled substance, possession of marijuana, could be along with aggravated assault, could be with attempted murder. Like, it could. I
would think those things would, negate it, right? Like, it's got to be just marijuana. That's what I would guess, but
right.
That's why it's so hard. Is there's so many stipulations and. I naively thought, they're just going to legalize cannabis and it's going to be great and it's going to be everywhere. But you got federal, you got state, you got municipal. I mean, even in places where it's legal, in California or Colorado, there's still cities that say no. Mm-hmm. Like Round Rock, right? They're going to be like, hell no. Hopefully not. But they'll still potentially say it's not legal here. Or it's not necessarily not legal, but you can't have any licenses. Like, where there's counties where they can't sell alcohol.
Yeah, but they won't arrest you for it.
Right.
Or they may fine you.
Yeah. But there's so many things where they legalize it, but then all these other things have to take place. And whenever it's so complicated, like if a company wants to acquire another company, like Acreage wants to acquire, Liberty back in the day or something, they only allow you to have a certain amount of licenses.
Right.
So you can't just go acquire and then you get double the amount.
Mm-hmm.
So you could acquire a company for other reasons, that there's assets that you like, but then you're like, because they have license in a different state that you don't, but then you have to go sell all these ones.
Licenses?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea, back to what we were talking about the lame duck, is that something passes like in the next 60 days.
What passes?
Safe banking. Maybe HOPE plus SAFE.
What's HOPE? Oh, the pardoning criminal charges. Yeah. So safe banking, though, that just allows the cannabis companies to get access to.
That, and then people like me where, I've got my line of credit and stuff. Luckily, I somehow got in. They're willing to take a bet on me to utilize my stock as collateral. But now it would be like way more normal.
Mm-hmm.
So almost everybody, like, they would maybe welcome that.
Yeah. And so how are they currently getting financing? Just high interest shark loans?
Yeah, private lenders. 12, 16%.
They have to operate in cash.
Uh-huh. I don't know exactly. I mean, I think
where does the cash go? I mean, that's
dude, it's a problem. They're killing and like robbing these, dispensaries because they know they're sitting on like it happens.
Well, I know, but let's just say that your acreage, for example, and I mean, how much revenue did acreage have?
62 million last quarter.
What was the profit on that? Do you know?
8.4 million.
8.4 million. So, I mean,
where do they
unless you reinvest it immediately, like where can you take that cash, go put it in a bank outside of the country, or?
Yeah, I guess. I think they put it in banks somehow, but they can't get like the problem is they can't get loans, and that's the whole thing about why SAFE and HOPE go together, because if you were affected by marijuana and let's say you're lower income, and now they're giving you an opportunity, but you can't go get any money, what are you going to do? So it doesn't make any sense. So SAFE is the game changer, that then if you can bank and you can have all your loans and you can be with Bank of America or whoever it is, then now the SEC opens up to it and the New York Stock Exchange opens to it, and the big thing is institutional investors, like these big funds that have billions.
It's not the New York Stock Exchange. That's not because of safe banking that they're not allowed to do it on there. It's because of federal.
Right, but like once safe banking happens, then I think it opens the floodgates. All of a sudden, things start, forcing their way into existence. Like now, you have to decriminalize it federally, most likely. Right, like you can't say you can have this big business and be able to bank with Merrill Lynch or J.P. Morgan, but it's still federally illegal, right? They have to like start making action towards that.
Well, do you think that that's going to be pushed through?
I think so, but I've been thinking that for 2 years. So it seems like it. I mean, I can't understand why Biden would just go crazy on these tweets and then do nothing about it. Like he literally didn't do anything. Why would you tell people they're getting out of jail? Right? Yeah. You're in jail and you're like, look at Biden's doing. Well, and then he does nothing.
Has he done nothing?
No.
I'm sure.
Like what the?
That was like what, 5 weeks ago though?
Yeah, maybe a little bit longer seems.
I mean,
takes time, right?
I'm sure it's a process.
That's what I'm saying. Is like hopefully it's like now.
What's now?
This process, like hopefully it's not the end of next year.
Well, just for example, like if people were getting pardoned and taken out of federal prison, I'm sure there's a few things that have to happen.
Yeah, there are, but the thing is, you have to get
You also want to like transition people out too, I'm sure.
Right.
You don't just like, all right, on a Tuesday at 4 p.m.
you're out.
Hey, yeah.
Well, but you passed the bill, right? Like the bill gets passed, and then it lays out how this is going to work.
What bill? Safe.
Whatever Biden's referring, like, it have to be a new bill. It'd be like expungement. Maybe that's put into HOPE.
Is that how it works? When you pardon something, you have to pass a bill?
Yeah, you got to do something like really clear what this means.
Right. So he hadn't started that process, is what you're saying?
No, he just tweeted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
was it Biden that tweeted? I remember you were like, dude, he's going crazy on Twitter. I was like, someone's going crazy.
Yeah, someone on his account. I mean, I doubt it was him. There's no way that was him.
Right.
So it's fascinating.
Yeah. Well, exciting times. We'll see what happens.
At the Cannabis Podcast.
I do think you're on the up and up there.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
It's pretty fascinating to see.
We're up, baby. 1.98%.
It's a lot.
Only
the sad thing to me, honestly, obviously the I could go on and on, but from a people perspective, the way that people are going to come around and now be all about it that weren't, like, just because the government says that's how they should, you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people that were totally anti-marijuana, and now they're going to be all about it because the government said they could be.
Yeah, so what's your point, though? That's how people are
think
with
for yourself.
Well, that's how people are with everything, though.
I know, it's sad, right? It's like, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people that I know that are, having cannabis drinks or smoking that just judged it forever because they listened to what the government says.
Yeah. Do you remember?
It's just interesting. You're literally going to see it. Like, hey, I remember what you were saying a couple years ago.
It just bothers you that they were saying that a couple years ago?
Well, that they just listen to, they don't think for themselves in some sense.
I know, but you should expect that.
I guess so.
Like,
but you don't really see it. You don't really see you're not going to see that all the time. Someone's just talking about it and then smoking it.
Well, yeah, with
like usually people don't change their mind on that. But you're going to see this happen.
Yeah, I think people do it. We don't have to dive too deep into this, but like just like Uber, for example. I'm sure a lot of people are like, hell no, like I'll never go get in a car with a stranger. That's ridiculous. And then everybody starts using Uber, and they probably start using it every day.
Yeah.
So it's just like
dude.
People are just gonna do that.
Sheep.
Right. Look
at
that jacket.
Sheep.
I was thinking that this morning. I was
Sheep
like, he looks
boy.
like a dang sheep.
A sheepskin. No, but so this guy from FTX, Sam.
Yep, Sam.
Everybody was, he's on film with Tom Brady and Kevin O'Leary, and Jim Cramer says he's the next JP Morgan. Like, they're just so quick to jump on board.
Yeah.
And now everything they said and like they're just jumping on ship, and we all do it.
Do you know the story there?
Yeah, somewhat. A lot of it's unknown. If you watch that O'Leary video, you'll see. But
just from like I've watched a few when we were at lunch for the top producer lunch with the TRE agents, and y'all mentioned that. I was like, the hell? And I went home and researched it, and apparently, they just inflated their balance sheet. They
were levered up.
Well, they took all this money and invested it into, I guess, or created their own token.
Yeah. And
then they said that their token they were just inflating their, the value of their token.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was worth nothing.
Well, there's a lot unknown. When you watch this video, you see what I'm talking about. But somebody hacked into this account, and there's like $2 billion gone. And so Sam was even calling Kevin O'Leary. They were trying to do a bailout. O'Leary was trying to raise $8 billion. To prevent this run on the bank situation. They were gonna do it. Like, they're gonna get $8 billion, and probably Sam would own like X percent, instead of Y. And then the regulator started coming out about how they're gonna bring the hammer down on this. Mm-hmm. And then O'Leary and all the funds pulled out.
Well, I think
but like, dude,
I think O'Leary's hands might have been forced into that.
Probably. But it's fascinating to think that like at that level you could just go get $8 billion in like 3 hours. Mm-hmm. Like, they were gonna do it.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But anyways, FTX is a exchange, or was an exchange.
Yeah.
They had their own token. Mm-hmm. What was it? 8 billion? 9 billion?
Well, that's how much he was trying to raise. But it was 44 billion.
The value?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, maybe Sam's net worth was 9 billion or something.
Maybe. Yeah, the whole company. I mean, they're like he. That's why I'm saying it's one of the biggest financial collapses ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe. It might have already been there. I think it was like, it may not have actually collapsed. It may have just.
And obviously, we're not really.
It's a Fugazi,
Fugazi. We're not big crypto guys, but we like to study business and understand these things. But they're saying that in the next like 10, 15 days, there's going to be a lot more.
Well, from what I understand with this specifically, it's like us taking our $17 million real estate portfolio, and on our balance sheet, we're saying it's worth, $1 billion or, $100 million.
Yeah.
We're just like, no, it's worth $100 million. And then people find out it's not worth $100 million. And
yeah, but I think it went further than that, where they did that, but then they they borrowed money on it, and they took
Right.
that money and they
Yes.
put it into things.
Yeah, they on their balance, our $100 million real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
Here's bank. Here's our balance sheet.
Right. Give us some money. We're going to invest here. And then these investments didn't really work out. And then somebody noticed that, and they did a run on the banks.
Mm-hmm. But you're saying that others are going to trickle? Like, maybe FTX isn't the only one doing this?
Yeah, that, and also, like, there's things that are tied to this somehow. Like, if you had all your coins at FTX, right? If you had a cryptocurrency that you had, but it was all at FTX, it's zero.
Well, in the FTX coins.
Well, I think, like, at
Your
the
wallet?
Yeah. Like, anything you had at the exchange is zero. It's like if TD Ameritrade, you could have TD Ameritrade stock, but you could also have Apple at TD Ameritrade.
Yeah, and if you had Apple?
It's zero. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
And FTX was one of the larger ones?
Yeah, I think they were the second largest.
What, Coinbase being the first?
Not sure. Well, the guys that bought them now are the largest, I believe. Like another
Binance?
Yeah, I think so. Crazy.
Well, I think because you sent me a video on it, or it was a reel or something a few days ago. It was Kevin O'Leary talking about it. It was like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But Kevin, there wasn't a whole lot of info there.
Are you sure that wasn't Charlie Munger?
No, it was Kevin.
So I sent the whole video too of Kevin. You'll like it. And then Charlie Munger.
Yeah, I saw that. He said this. What'd he say?
He's just nailing it, dude. And
yeah,
just Berkshire, I think, is, everything's been going crazy, right? Apple, Amazon, Tesla for the last 2 years, and Berkshire and them
a little bit more, like the last 5 years.
Yeah, 10 years. I mean, right? Berkshire's just kind of sitting there. They're the old wise men, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? They're sitting on, I think they had like $100 billion or some crazy amount of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't they buying? When the COVID hit, like, why aren't they just unloading the cash and buying? It's going up, and then everything just keeps coming down. And like Berkshire, I think, is down like 5% this year, right? And everything else is down like 50, 60. And it's just It's just such a good. It's hard to be a long-term player like that, but they stick to their values.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that with real estate.
Right.
Like, it's really hard. We were aggressive and active, and we definitely bought some deals that we shouldn't have in the last 2-3 years. But we were on the side. We didn't want to just sit on the sidelines while everyone was doing deals. But if we kind of stuck to our guns and were super patient, like Berkshire style, then you just slowly go up, and you don't have these big swings.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm trying to get us to do right now.
Yeah, you learn. I mean, dude, these are lessons like
over 1 year, 12-month period. Berkshire's up.
They're up.
Yeah.
How much are they up? Like 5%?
8.5.
That's just how they are.
Year to date, they're up 2.8. 3 months up 1%. 1 month they're up 13%. 5 days up 6.5%.
Yeah. So slow and steady wins the race. That's beautiful.
Well, they're not necessarily. I don't know if you would describe it as slow and steady. I mean, they make smart cash flow and investments.
Yeah. It just seems like it from the outside.
Yeah, they're not like going all in on Bitcoin when the craze is happening. Or
Right.
They're sticking to what they know. And
that's a good lesson. I mean, that's hard to do.
Right? It is. It takes discipline.
Yeah, it takes massive discipline and patience. I mean, Bitcoin's been going up for 5 years or whatever. I mean, longer than that, obviously. But they just sitting back like, hey guys, this ain't legit. And I still think it is in a lot of ways. I have a hard time knowing yes or no. But they hate
for what
it.
Bitcoin?
Yeah, they hate it.
Yeah. Well, you are you game for a new investment philosophy?
Yeah.
TR3.
Berkshire style.
Kinda.
Intelligent investor.
Yeah, I mean, I just currently what I'm doing is going through and just looking at all of our properties and
Finish
this up. Potentially I want to, if your game, want to sell Dubuque, Raintree, Emma if we can, and then we'll take that, and yeah, we'll take a little bit of a loss compared to like
maybe
what
we owner finance them, dude. It'd be sick.
For sure. The reason I would want to sell it though is to get the equity out.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, if we get, $50K, $75K, $100K down payment, could be worth it. But I hear you. Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of equity in there. I want to get the equity out and go reapply it to cash flow on investments.
More commercial too, larger deals.
Yeah, the problem is that these just, I don't know about you, and I'm just tired of having to put money into these things.
Yeah.
Or not getting money out of them. We get the appreciation, but I think appreciation is going to slow quite a bit. Yeah, I don't know if we'll see much appreciation. The only challenge is
it's just, as you know, that's Austin, right?
Well, not really. I mean, we have cash flow investments in Austin.
We do, but it's just very, very hard. It's so small.
I think it's hard when we're doing it with single. It's impossible with a single family home.
Right.
But we go take this equity and go apply it somewhere else. We'll get some. We've got great cash flow and investments.
Yeah. We need ground.
Those are nice.
Ground leases, dude.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Just whatever we can capture the best of both worlds, because we will get it. We'll still capture the appreciation in the Austin market, but
yeah,
the cash flow I think will be important.
Totally.
Friggin' Emma, the property, we pay full property taxes in 2 counties. Do you know that?
I knew we were in 2 counties. I didn't know it was full. I thought it was split between the 2.
It's insane. It eats up all the cash flow.
Maybe that doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right. I agree with you. Full property taxes.
I think we can figure out a way to get out of that.
That eats up all the cash flow.
Yeah.
And then,
we should talk to Alan.
The king of Bartlett. Where's he at? You remember?
The guy buying all the properties?
Yeah.
Right.
Growth is moving out that way for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much we could raise rents there. We got a steal on that one though.
Yeah.
I think we bought it for less than they built it.
Yeah, and it was brand new, which is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But TR3, baby, new directions, inspired by Warren Buffett.
Are you game though?
Yeah, I'm game.
Dubuque's vacant.
Sure.
Raintree leases up.
Let's get it. Stay tuned, guys. If you want to hear more or know more about crypto and cannabis, just kidding. We don't know anything about that stuff, but we like to understand the high-level business aspects. Real estate, it's the best. But come get around it. We're here. If you can, check us out. Subscribe, like, comment. We just had a new video released on the School of Hard Knocks, which is pretty cool. Show our office. Those guys are great. Shout out to School of Hard Knocks. James, Jack. What's the other partner's name? Can't remember.
You're making me forget.
We appreciate you guys. Much love. Hit us up. Stay disciplined. Don't give up. Know that during the next year or two, the entrepreneurs are going to be the ones that thrive, and it doesn't just happen. You got to go make it happen. Go get it, baby. God bless.
Yes.